It's a G life, swerving in a G ride. Who bang, homie, clutching on the 4-5. Don't ever slip, cause you do, boy, that lead flies. Cause at the bottom we stay hunting in that moonlight. You hear the click, you hear the bang when we pass by. This ain't a game fool, the riders really earn stripe. That's on the gang fool, forever on that main line. And it's a thin line, so homie better act right. We keep it active, really active up on this side. You hear the whistle as they're throwing up their gas signs. The crime rate in the hood always stays high. Banging for the vital, trucha for the one time. We stay posted, drinking till the sunrise. We stay posted, drinking till the sunrise. It's that G life, swerving in the G ride. Who bang, homie, clutching on that 4-5. Don't ever slip, cause you do, boy, that lead flies. Cause at the bottom.
G-File.
Alright, now right here in Compton, we have one of the old school barrios and pretty large in size. We have the barrio, Compton Barrio TF. Now TF stands for Tortilla Flats. Now Tortilla Flats is a pretty old school neighborhood right here on the east side of Compton. You feel me? They've been already right here since the 60s is when their neighborhood was established. So they already been right here for a cool minute. You feel me? And their neighborhood is located right there. What's Rosecrans Avenue to Compton Boulevard, all the way to Willowbrook Avenue to Alameda Street. So that essentially is what's known as the Tortilla Flats neighborhood. You feel me? That's their dojo, their domain. You know where they get it cracking at. You feel me? Now the Tortilla Flats neighborhood, people wonder where they get the name Tortilla Flats from. Now, I was told that they got the name Tortilla Flats off the novel. It was a book. Tortilla Flats was a book. It's a pretty good book. I suggest you guys go and read it. It's a book basically about, after World War I, this group of young, adolescents, pues, hanging out, drinking, getting drunk, pues, and chilling, hustling, making their feria. Doing their thing, homie, you know what I mean? So a group of, individuals hanging out, getting drunk and hustling. So, hence where they got the name Tortilla Flats from. You feel me? At least that's what I was told. Because that's what that novel's about. So, naming themselves after that, you know what I mean? A group of individuals that like kicking it, getting drunk and hustling. You know what I mean? That pretty good book. I think a lot of people will be able to relate to it. So I don't blame them, for that. Now, they're not the same as the Tortilla Flats from the Harbor area. I was told that they're two separate neighborhoods. And I think the novel had a lot to do with why theirs established as well. And now the Compton Barrio Tortilla Flats is a large neighborhood. They're deep as hell. They have a pretty chunk size of territory. So they be going at it with all the neighborhoods right there. You know what I mean? Seems like they really don't got no ally. Seems like they beef with a lot of the Compton barrios. Almost all the Compton barrios and a lot of the black neighborhoods too. Mostly Pyrus. It seems like they really have beef with Pyrus. But the Compton Barrio T Flats, they still be holding it down right there, representing for theirs, you know what I mean? Putting their barrio up on the map. Shout out to the homies from Tortilla Flats that I have. I have several homeboys out of Tortilla Flats, you know what I mean? Shout out to Sparky from Tortilla Flats. Shout out to Snow from Tortilla Flats. Shout out to Oso from Tortilla Flats. Shout out to all the homies from Tortilla Flats that be doing their thing, homie. Now, located right here on the west side of Compton, you know what I mean? But claiming South Side, but South Side as meaning as in like Southern California. You have the barrio Compton Barrio Alondra. Now Compton Barrio Alondra is a pretty well-established neighborhood right here. They've been around since the 70s. You feel me? And now the Compton Barrio Alondra is roughly more of a smaller neighborhood. It's not as large as some of these other Compton sets. But nonetheless, homie, it's a barrio that you hear about and you see the activity from. You feel me? These guys ain't no chumps, you know what I mean? Now, their neighborhood is named after, obviously, Alondra Boulevard. On Harris is, where their main domain is at, right there. Alondra Boulevard, near Central, Atlantic and all of that is where, their domain, the heart of their hood. Kind of sharing their neighborhood with the Compton Cribs, the Trignell Park Cribs, Compton Cribs, or something like that. So they shared their neighborhood with them vatos. But it doesn't seem like there's no big time hostility going on right there. Compton Barrio Alondra, they be holding it down right there, you know what I mean? In the west side of Compton, definitely putting theirs on the map, you know what I mean? They mainly go at it with Compton Barrio 155th and Tortilla Flats and Compton Barrio 70, you know what I mean? Like those kind of sets. But But yeah, to this day, they still be holding it down right there, representing for theirs and putting their barrio on the map. But that's what's up with Compton Barrio Alondra. Now, right here, also located in Compton, you have the barrio Compton Barrio Segundo. Now, Compton Barrio Segundo is a neighborhood that's been already right here for, pretty cool minute in Compton. Now, I was told that the reason their name is Compton Barrio Segundo is because they're the second oldest neighborhood in Compton. That's what I was told. You know what I mean? And their neighborhood's located right there on the eastern region on Compton and western. You know what I mean? That's where their, was considered their barrio, close to Paramount. You know what I mean? They're pretty old school, homie. They already been right there for a cool minute. You can also find them in Paramount as well. Not just in Compton. You know what I mean? This neighborhood, right, it may be a lot smaller than some of these other Compton sets, but nonetheless, homie, these vatos, they be doing their thing, you know what I mean? They be putting it down, They got a few clicas, like Los Pachucos, Los Santos, stuff like that, Now, they be holding it down right there on Atlantic in Compton to Orange Street in Paramount. You know what I mean? Right there on Compton Boulevard and Somerset Boulevard and Alondra Avenue, close to the 710 freeway. Is where they be at. And they be holding it down right there, homie. Like I said, going at it with the surrounding neighborhood. Seems like they have like a pretty big rivalry, with some of the other Compton neighborhoods, like Tortilla, like Chicano Gang, like Tokers, like, a few Crips and Bloods. Man, it be cracking, you know what I mean? But Compton Barrio Segundo be holding it down right there and putting their barrio on the map and, holding it down right there for their side. But that's what's up with them. And they definitely still representing. Also, right here in Compton, you have one of the more newer neighborhoods out of Compton. You have the Compton Barrio Vatos Locos. Not to be confused with the Compton Barrio Locos. Two different neighborhoods. That's Compton Barrio Locos. This is Compton Barrio Vatos Locos. So, you see the abbreviation CVVLS or CVVLC. That's how you see their abbreviation. And the Compton Barrio Locos have been around since the 90s, so they're one of the newest ones. That's what I mean. So the mid 90s is when this neighborhood was established, and they were established right there on Palm Street. Is where you could find the Compton Barrio Vatos Locos. The territory is roughly small. Because they always been a small neighborhood. You could also find them located around the Compton High School area. Is where they're located at. You know what I mean? Hence, a lot of those guys, they go to Compton High, and as a matter of fact, where they began. You know what I mean? Where their neighborhood was created. You know what I mean? And I was told that these guys were supposed to be from Barrio Alondra. Compton Barrio Alondra, but they decided to do their own thing. You feel me? So, while they were supposed to join the Alondra, they just decided to, keep their own clica up, you know what I mean, instead of joining them. And, it seems like they be going at it with a lot of the neighborhoods in Compton, with a lot of Pyrusets and the rest of the Compton neighborhoods. But that's just how it is when you have an area that's just jam-packed full of neighborhoods. You're going to get them conflicts and issues. But nonetheless, homie, they're still around. They're still doing their thing and be holding it down right there for their barrio and representing. And that's what's up with the Compton Barrio Vatos Locos right there. Now, right here in the east of Compton, you have the Barrio Compton Barrio Chicano Gang. Now, Compton Barrio Chicano Gang is a neighborhood that you definitely see up. These guys are active. You see the activity by these guys. They can't even say that you don't. You see the massacre on the walls by these guys, with all the graffiti. So they definitely be active, homie. You see the activity. And they're located on the east of Compton, right there where Alondra Boulevard, all the way to Greenleaf Boulevard to Thorson Avenue. I guess you could say that their neighborhood is located right there where the Kelly Park Compton Crips is at. The set in which Eazy-E was from. So you could say that their neighborhood is, like right there with theirs. Close to the Compton Barrio 70s neighborhood as well. And this neighborhood right here has been already in the Compton area since the early 80s is when this neighborhood was established. So they already have been right here for a cool minute, you feel me? And Compton Barrio Chicano Gang, it it's decent size. You know what I mean? It's not a small neighborhood. It's not a large neighborhood. It's an average size neighborhood. You feel me? They have numbers on their side. You do see the activity by these guys. They do get it on and cracking, going at it with the surrounding neighborhoods right there. I'm telling you, you could just tell with all the graffiti and crossing out and all kinds of shit. You know what I mean? They definitely be cracking around this area. You already know that Compton does not play, homie. You know what I mean? Compton is, the area where it be on and popping. Even if they are like cleaning it up a bit or whatever, they still be there. They still be holding it down and representing for theirs. You feel me? Shout out to the homie Chepe from Chicano Gang, and shout out to Lefty from Chicano Gang. Shout out to all the homies from Chicano Gang that be holding it down right there for theirs.